Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hello, Millie, featuring my mom, Millie Garfield. And let's not waste any time and bring her right in. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Steve. Hi, everyone.
How are you today?
I am great today. I've been looking forward to this episode. And I have to say so myself. I think they're all good. Everyone is unique. And today I'm sure it's going to be unique also, special.
Well, that's great. I've been looking forward to it too. And we got in here under the gun. I did a little preparation, and I hope that works for us all. Now, let's see for people who are new to the show. My mom, one of the internet's oldest bloggers, 95 years old, and we get together and have these discussions based on my friend Jan Zlotnick's book, 23 Things I Wish I Could Ask My Mom and Dad Today. And I gave this book to my mom as a gift, and she goes through it and picks questions that we're going to ask, and she's going to answer. So what's the question for today?
Well, today's question I found, and I'll read you the question. And
Hi, Jan.
I've numbered the pages. And so
Jan Zlotnick says, hi, Mom.
Oh, hi. Hi, author. Hi. I'm so glad you wrote this book. I am having such fun with this. Okay. And the question written in the book is, what used to make you the most happy? Well, I thought that was a good question. And this is news today. My daughter-in-law is joining us. And so I asked her if she'd like to participate. Yes, she said yes. And so I asked her that question, and her answer was very interesting because it gave me food for thought, and I've changed the question and updated the question. And the question now is, what would make you the most happy? So that's today's question. What would make you the most happy?
Okay, well, you mentioned Carol, so let's bring her in.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Millie.
Hi, Carol. Hi.
Good to see you.
Hi, Carol. Good to see you.
Mwah. You're looking good, Millie.
What have I been
Looking
doing?
good.
Thank you. Thank you. I put on lipstick for this occasion.
I didn't.
You're our natural. Okay.
Okay, Mom, let's hear your answer to the question.
Well, my answer to the question is what I'm asking it the way Carol interpreted it. What would make me most happy today? That's a great question. And there's a simple answer for that. I want things back to normal. I want them the way they were. And I sketched out something here. And can you see my sketch with my answers to all the things?
Oh, wow. Hold that up a little bit and then angle it so we can see it the other way. Straight onto the screen.
All right.
Oh,
You
up
guys
higher.
up higher.
Now to the right. Just hold it in front of your face.
All right, I'm holding it in front of my
Up higher, higher.
Okay.
A little bit higher. Okay, now we see two faces.
All right. Well, one is me. Let's say one is me, one is everybody. And the things that I would welcome and get everything back to normal, I would like to be with my friends. I'd like to be with my family. I'd like to have some indoor dining. I'd like to play games. I just want to be normal again. I want to go shopping. I don't need anything really, but it would be fun to go into a store and look around. But mostly, I think I really want to get together with my friends, play games, play Mahjong that I played every Tuesday for years. And I want to get together with Steve and Carol, go out to dinner with them. I just want things the way they were, and hopefully we can't wait too much. We don't want to wait too much longer. We want things to be normal, and the little things would bring me great joy. Going to a coffee shop and having a cup of coffee and a blueberry muffin. Wouldn't that be great? So
That would be great.
yeah, Jordan Marsh's muffins. I'll never forget those muffins. They were so big. I'd go in with a friend. We'd go shopping, and they had an outdoor bakery in front of the store, and she and I would split a blueberry muffin. They were large, and we split them. We had a rest. We had our coffee. We had the donut. Then we tried to spend more money. So that's what I want back. That's
Oh
my,
yeah.
that's my answer. And if you can,
Yep.
that smiley face,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's what I want. Just normal, and normal would be fantastic. So now, Carol can. I want to hear what Carol has to say. What does she want?
Yes, my answer is I wish that everybody could be vaccinated and we could all get together. You know, if you go back to the original question, what do you miss that you used to be able to do, which was to take you for a nice ride
Yeah,
and to go in the car, stop at a fun place for lunch or for dinner, or go out to find a new place for you on a mystery ride. All those things used to be great fun.
that's right. I used to tell people about those mystery rides when I had a birthday. Steve and Carol would take me out, but they never told me where we were going. And I would tell my friends, especially my close friend Ronnie, I would tell her, I'm going to celebrate my birthday with the kids. And she'd say, where are you going? I said, I don't know where I'm going, but I guess as we're driving along, if we're heading north or we're heading south, I think, yeah, we're going to New Hampshire. We'll go to that fish place. And sometimes I was right. Sometimes I couldn't get it at all. But those are the really simple pleasures.
Yeah, very simple things. Being able to hug the kids, being able to call friends up and say, just come over, and not have to think about the mask wearing and how long can they be in the house and ventilating the house and not having people over most of the time.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure the waitresses that we used to go to, we went to special Italian places near my place where I live. And I think they knew us. The three of us would come in before dinner time. The restaurant was empty, so we got their full attention. And she knew we were a family. They were taking the mother out for a treat. Those were the simple pleasures. And
Right.
when you talk about a ride, Carol, just going for a ride, that reminded me of when I first got married, before Stephen came onto the scene, before I got married. And when I got married, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law had already passed away. My mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, my sister, would take me for a ride, and we would go up to New Hampshire or Maine in the car for a ride on a Sunday afternoon. And my mother-in-law, she made the meal. She made a hot meal, and then we found a place to park the car, and she'd take out the hot dinner that she made. And that was a treat. Simple pleasure. That was a great treat.
Yeah, you mentioned going to the restaurant. And so in addition to missing family and friends, I've seen people write about this, and we're also missing what they're calling them weak ties, which are the waitress in the restaurant or the person in the coffee shop that you say hello to, and they recognize you day to day, and
Right.
these aren't close friends, but there's a whole nother level that we're missing. Like you in your place, you go to the front desk, you see this person, that person, and if we're staying apart from people mostly, those relationships, although weak, are important too that we're
Yeah,
missing.
Steve, I thought about, walking to the local restaurant where we know the owner, both of the owners, and sitting at the bar and just chatting with them and having
Yeah.
a nice meal. I thought of that today.
That's right. Those are the little things that make life rich. Yep. Here's a little thing. Yesterday, I was busy. I saw this doctor. I saw that doctor. We had to go to the hospital for a visit. And before we entered the hospital, we had to stop and get a fresh mask. So I got a mask, put it on. Steve got a mask, he put it on. And I come home from the day out, that whole day out. I took off that mask that the hospital gave me, and the string broke. It didn't even last the day. So fortunately, I have a big inventory of masks. So
Well,
I'm not going to run out.
when we went into that hospital, then they had the mask dispenser, and I got one for me, and I got one for you. And as I was pulling them out of the dispenser, the string broke off right out of the machine. So I had to throw that away, and then I had to take another one and give you one. So that happened right out of the machine at the hospital.
Defective manufacturer.
Yeah.
And here I thought I had a day's wearing out of the thing. He didn't even put it on, and it broke.
Right.
And years ago, you bought a toaster oven. That toaster oven lived forever. You put in a new appliance. It never broke down. You didn't have to call anyone. But today, they're built to break down.
Hi, Andy Carvin. That toaster oven you bring up, the best toaster oven ever made was this GE toaster oven. And you've had problems with toaster ovens.
Yes.
And finally, I gave up with new toaster ovens, and I went on eBay and spent some crazy amount of money to get you that GE toaster oven that we remember.
An old one.
An old one, the original. It was from 1970 maybe, and it was.
That's
It must have been in. Well, I mean, that's 50 years old, Ma.
That's not old. 1970.
The toaster oven. Well, so anyways, after a while you didn't like it, and we upgraded you to a Breville, and we took that GE toaster oven back to our place, and we had a brand new Black & Decker toaster oven, which they bought the GE toaster oven business, and that toaster oven was lousy. So we put that aside, and we took the GE toaster oven from 50 years ago, and we're using that one now. So
Yeah.
we're using that one.
Yeah.
And it works good. We love it.
And the reason I like that one is because you put the toast in, and then you shut the door, and you just push the button, and it remembers what degree of level of darkness you want, and it makes the toast. The problem with today's toaster ovens is every time you use it, you have to set to what level of darkness you want and then press toast. This is my rant. I just don't like it.
I don't change the setting.
Now on your toaster, it's perfect. That Breville is very, very good.
I don't touch it. I just say toast.
Mark Schultz says hi and wants to know if you have mentioned your other connection to GE. And then Bruce Jones, that's because my dad worked there. And then Bruce Jones says they have a GE toaster oven. Oh, look at that. It has a great ding. You do, Bruce? That is a great toaster oven. I wonder if it's the same one. That would be cool. So Mark Schultz comes in, and he wants to know your other connection to GE.
Are you asking me?
Well, that's what he's asking. Hi, Millie.
My other question.
Your other connection to GE, it's Dad.
Well, and besides my husband working for GE until his retirement, I worked for GE intermittently. I was one of the people that worked at a temp agency. And so every so often GE would call me, and I would get into that company to work for the day. And one day GE calls me up, and they want me to come that morning. I had no transportation. Aaron has gone to work, and I hadn't made plans. I wasn't going to go anywhere. They needed me. They sent a car for me. And when the employees saw that this girl who doesn't even work here comes in with a chauffeur, they picked me up and brought me to work. And I think Aaron did come take me home, but I got transportation. I worked at GE temporarily a number of times. And one time I was there, and I don't have much to do. I'm sitting there. I had answered the phone, so I couldn't pick myself up and take a walk. I had to be there to answer the phone. Well, I couldn't do that. And I was almost going to say to them, hey, what are you keeping me here for? I'm not doing anything. So I found out they were deliberately keeping me on the job because they could claim that expense for that year. They were building up the expense because the following year they might really need me. So I kept them in business. That's my connection with GE. Do you ever know that story, Steve?
I did.
Steve has a connection to GE too.
And what's your connection?
No, Steve does.
Oh, yeah, Steve does. I know. What's your tell
You
us?
mean I worked there one summer
Yes.
in the most horrible situation that my parents pulled in a favor to get me a job in the GE, and it was okay looking back at it, but I couldn't
Aircraft.
quit
It's the
because
aircraft division. What was it?
GE Aircraft Engine Group.
Mm-hmm.
And the craziest part was when it was coffee break time, we went to Kane's Donuts over in Saugus, and they said, come on, let's go. And I said, isn't it going to, the coffee break was like a 15-minute coffee break. I said, isn't it going to take us 15 minutes to get there? And they said, yeah, don't worry about it. So I was the young kid, from college, not wanting to break any of the rules. And these were all the old guys saying, let's go, come on. You'd go over there for 15 minutes. You'd get the donuts, have whatever you had, drive back. We could have been gone an hour. And I did not like it because they were going against the rules. And then one time a file cabinet had to be moved. And they says, come on, help us move this file cabinet before the union guys see us. Oh. I mean, I got a million stories from that place.
Oh, I remember one story. You didn't like it because they drank lunchtime. They weren't drinking coffee or tea. They were drinking. And he didn't think that was a good thing to do on the job.
We went to the restaurant across the street from the GE, which was a bar and restaurant. Yep. And we got a table, and then at the other tables were all the machinists who worked with drill presses and all these tools. And they would order 3 or 4 beers to come in front of them when they sat down. Everybody got 3 or 4. So the whole table was covered with bottles. So they drank them all at lunch and probably ate lunch, and then they went back to work. I could not believe that was happening.
Yeah, I remember.
Bruce Jones, time to make the donuts. So, Ma, are you interested in my answer to the question? Let's bring it back up again.
Yes.
Okay.
What are your memories, and what would you be happy about today?
Well, I knew the question, what used to make you the most happy, was coming up. So, whoops, wait a minute. Let's see. Shoot, I need Joe Jaffe here right now to help me. What used to make me happy was playing with my little tape recorder and my record player and playing music and making little shows on cassette tape. So I went and found the cassette tape from way back when. This one is called this one is called Watergate 73. Now, I wanted to try and figure out a way to get this somehow onto the computer so we could listen to it. And, I looked online, and so I ordered this little cassette player, which I have here, and it came today. So then I had to figure out how to get the audio onto the computer. And before I build it all up, I just want to see if this works. Let me do a little share here and see if we can get this a little audio.
First time testing.
Yeah. Share this, and let's see if we can listen. Let's see how this works here. Oh, there it is. So let's see. Here's the audio. So back when I was a little kid, Watergate was happening, and I would make a fake news show, and I would ask a question, and then I would play part of a record as an answer, and I'd record the question into the tape recorder. I'd hit stop, and then I would hit record and play the part of the record I wanted. So let's see if we can listen to this. It'll be a miracle if this works.
How does the whole Watergate mess and all the resignations affect you? Mr. Nixon, where are you going?
Could you hear that, you guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's another one. Let's see. Let's get another one here. So what I had to do was, I didn't have a great way of doing this. I played the cassette player into my headphones, and then I took this microphone and I stuck the microphone in the headphone and recorded it.
And how old were you then?
How old was I then? Yikes. 15?
Under
I was
12?
15 years old.
Okay.
And then let me get another one here. Now we're going to go to 1980, which is, okay. This might be a little better audio. Let's see.
And I'm not what I appear to be. Okay, Ron, tell us what you think about the situation between you and George Bush in discussing China and Taiwan.
Whose voice was that?
That was Steve.
That was Steve?
He was making a different voice
Oh,
for the recording.
uh-huh.
Oh, Steve, we can't hear you. There's no sound on. No sound.
Muting myself, but you could hear that, right?
No, we couldn't hear the song. We could hear you speaking, and then we couldn't hear the song.
Yeah, I heard you clearly. I didn't know.
Here, let me try one more. This is the early days of audio on the internet right here. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, let me share one
You had
more.
your passion back then.
I did. It's funny because what I loved doing as a kid, making audio, editing things together, is what I ended up loving to do as an adult. Exactly that, Carol. You're right. I'm going to do one more here, Ma. You're going to like this one. And I'll just hit play on this. This is audio of Dad telling jokes that I found.
Oh, that would be something to hear. Wow.
Okay, let's see if we can
my
listen.
Goodness.
Let's see if we can listen. See if we can listen to this.
All right.
And then we got married. And one day before I was leaving for work, my wife was standing at the door with me, and we looked across the street, and the two neighbors were out there, and the husband and wife, they were hugging and kissing each other. Right, I said hugging and kissing, and and they were hugging and kissing a lot, and it was really good and stuff. And then Mom said to Dad, "Why don't you do that?" And Daddy said, "I hardly know the woman." Look at that. And kissing her. He's hugging her and kissing her and hugging her. Why don't you do that? I don't.
So, here, hang on. I got it. Listen to that. Is my father telling jokes, and
Yeah.
then he's telling jokes, and we've heard these jokes 1,000 times.
Right.
What happens is he's like, he pauses for a second, so I start telling his joke. Right, Ma? We knew the joke so well.
Yes.
I would start telling the joke. And then as I'm telling the joke, he's correcting me because I'm not telling the joke in the right way. And I'm not enunciating clearly enough. And you can hear that in the tape. And this is it, Ma. This is how it is. I say at dinner, he's always editing my conversation, making sure I don't say yeah, but, and all this stuff. But in the middle of this joke that I'm telling, I say something like he's kissing her and he's hugging her. And you hear my father come in and he says, he's kissing her and he's hugging her. Like, I'm not getting we're just telling jokes in the kitchen. He's like, it's her. He's hugging her and kissing her.
Yeah.
Right there is
that was
a bit of exactly what it was like over there.
That's sensational because I remember that vividly. That was the thing that went between them. He was always correcting Steve. And even to this day, it affects me because when I hear a speaker, I hear a Republican, I hear a Democrat, I hear a governor, I hear a mayor, and they make a mistake. And when they're talking, they say, and so, and but, and I say, oh my God, listen to them. They're so wrong in their speaking.
Carol, does this sound familiar?
I've heard it all before.
No, not that part. The part where people make mistakes on TV and I
Yes,
correct
Steve's always
them
correcting them.
Oh, I
Always.
can't.
all the time. They say the wrong thing and I talk back to the television and I say no. And that's my father. Right, Ma?
Oh, because but there's a reason he was like that, Millie. There was a reason that Aaron was like that, right? Because what did Aaron do?
He was a technical writer.
Right.
He was technical. He was technical about many things.
Read things all the time that needed to be corrected.
Technical editor. He made sure everything was written in a way that it could be understood by people. So if anything was unclear,
right,
he would want it clear and he would want everything cleared. This is who I am now. Same person.
Look how he affected us, because I still to this day cringe when I hear a prominent person use poor English.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm always yelling at the TV.
Okay, so it rubs off. We don't know it. It does rub off. It does rub off. So Carol, what made you the most happy? Did we ask you that question specifically?
We did.
Do you have a past one? Did we do?
Well, what used to make me happy? What was? How would you want me to answer it? What used to make me happy?
You've answered what would make you happy. What used to make you happy?
A lot of people answer it like, "Oh, traveling. I really miss the traveling and all that." But I don't know that I. Other than just getting things back to normal, other than that, what I used to like and don't have. Well, I would like to have my mom back. That's certainly something.
You what?
I would love to have my mom back for dinner one more time and chat with her. That would be nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. So what else have we got to say? Steve was here the other day and he brought me a little box of cards, and I haven't looked through it thoroughly, but I just looked at some, and they have questions. They have simple questions, simple, fun questions. So maybe I will delve into those, because the book I have now, they're getting to be deeper, harder questions, and I don't want to get that busy and dizzy and thinking negative. I want positive thinking. And this book, these little cards look like they're going to be positive, happy, the ones I've looked at so far. So
but it's good for you to think about the hard ones too.
Well, I have.
Yep.
I have. And as we're talking today, I remembered certain things that I have not thought about in years. The happy thing about Aaron being so persistent and fussy about hug and kiss that woman, why don't you do that? Well, I'm not married to her. That was the answer with that one.
Yeah. Why? He says, why don't you do that? He's hugging her and kissing her. Why
Right.
don't you do
Why don't
that?
you
And
do
my
that?
father says, I hardly know that woman.
Yeah. You
That
got
woman.
the line.
Like, I hardly know that woman.
Right.
You know what else? I think a lot of his jokes were from Henny Youngman. Like he didn't write the jokes.
Right.
I think he wrote down jokes that he liked
Right.
from comedians.
Right.
Yeah. So that
Well, talking about your father with the jokes, I remember one time he and I were on a trip. That was before we spent our winters in Florida. We were down in Florida on maybe a couple of weeks trip, and we took a tour bus. And on this tour bus, they took us to different places, nice hostess, and she asked for people on the bus, who's got something to tell us, who's got a song or a joke or a story they want to tell us. So Aaron put his hand up right away, and he started to tell his jokes, the ones that I've heard a million times. And he's telling the jokes to all these seniors on the bus who are tired already from the whole day's long trip. But he's telling his jokes, and they fell asleep on him. I remember that one, and I always laughed. He told those jokes I heard a million times, but I still laughed.
we
But,
love those jokes. Yeah, they were fun.
but those poor people, they couldn't they couldn't stay up. Yeah,
Funny.
yeah. He had a card in top drawer in the chest of drawers that we had. I think that's really my phone, but I'm not answering it.
That's me calling you to end the show with a phone call.
Okay.
Call from Garfield Steve.
Garfield's
Here's
calling.
my trick.
Okay, now
Exposed.
everyone knows the trick.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this was great, Ma. Really fun.
It was fun. It
We had
was
some good memories, and thanks everyone for watching. It was, and you encouraged me to try and get a bigger audience this time, so I publicized it a little bit more. So I hope everybody liked it.
okay.
All right, Millie, now you need to start thinking about next week's.
Oh, right away. I like to do that. I really like to do it. And I have a consideration list.
Okay.
Number one.
We normally do it Wednesdays at Tuesdays at 4:30. We had to do it today, rescheduled, but we'll try and do it next Tuesday at 4:30.
Okay, it's a date.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bye.